All right, let's do it. Welcome into the show. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. Chase Senior hanging out here with you. And there's a lot to get to here on the show today. The Niners adding another defensive end to try to bulk up their pass rush. It's a bodies game at this point. We have some more Niners roster moves to get to. And will Jauan Jennings get traded? The NFL trade deadline is coming up on November 4th after Week 9, going into Week 10. So we'll dive into that as well. Before we do all of that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. All of our content is free. Support the channel. And if you want to become a more informed Niners fan, I always got you. We're 280 people away from 179,000 subscribers. I'm challenging the Niner gang. Can we get there with this video? I think we can. I believe in all of you. So the 49ers making this move official today that they have signed defensive end Clelin Ferrell to their practice squad. This is a veteran who has been in the NFL for a little while, and if that name sounds familiar, he was the Niners starter at defensive end opposite of Nick Bosa in 2023 when the Niners made it to the Super Bowl. And the 49ers here, just in the last 2 days, have made a couple of moves at the defensive end spot. Are these blockbuster moves where San Francisco is bringing in blockbuster players? No, but these are moves that literally needed to be done and made. When Trevis Gipson got taken off the Niners practice squad and poached and was added to the Panthers active roster yesterday, that left San Francisco with only 2 healthy defensive ends on their 53-man roster with the game across the country against the Giants coming up on Sunday. Those 2 defensive ends, Robert Beal and Mykel Williams. So the Niners couldn't even field a team along the defensive line at defensive end if they didn't make some of these moves. Keon White and signing Clelin Ferrell. I like this addition of Ferrell. I know that he was a bust with the Raiders, 4th pick in the 2019 NFL draft. He didn't work out well then. It's not his fault also that he got overdrafted. I remember being in Nashville for the draft that night, and when the announcement was made that the Raiders drafted Ferrell, people are like, wait, who is this guy? Really? That's who the Raiders are going after? That was in that Mike Mayock, John Gruden regime. Funny enough, I'm wearing a John Gruden shirt right now. I just realized that as I say it. But Ferrell, solid player at Clemson. I didn't think he should have been the 4th overall pick. He's been solid since then, but he certainly hasn't been great. But he did play well for San Francisco in 2023. Started all 17 games. Had 3.5 sacks with the Niners that year. Chris Kocurek did a good job of utilizing him at defensive tackle and at defensive end, and he kind of fits that prototype for what the Niners look for and like and prefer at defensive end. A bigger body at 6'4", 265, who can play defensive end, defensive tackle. And Ferrell's going to be able to step in here, officially sign with the practice squad earlier today, and probably get bumped up to the active game day roster on Sunday, and you could play him right away. So you think about these 2 moves that the Niners have made at defensive end, with Bryce Huff out, Nick Bosa out, Yetur Gross-Matos out, Trevis Gipson now on the Panthers. They trade for Keon White. They sign Ferrell. I trust Robert Saleh and Chris Kocurek to use Keon White and Clelin Ferrell in a way that is going to maximize their individual skill sets, where they are big bodies who are versatile. They are powerful, they can win with the bull rush, and they can play defensive end and defensive tackle. The Niners really like some of these defensive ends who are big at that position and using them at defensive tackle as smaller players who are more explosive and can beat some of those slower plotting interior offensive linemen. And this can allow the Niners to hunt the quarterback. I mean, it doesn't get worse than what we saw in the Houston game, where the Niners as a team only had 10 pressures and 0 sacks. As C.J. Stroud was able to take the snap, drop back, go through his reads, survey the field, eat a sandwich, tie his shoe, and then throw balls downfield. Niners needed to do something, and I'm glad that John Lynch has done something. Now, the 49ers play the Giants cross-country on Sunday. So it's Wednesday right now. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That game is in 4 days. And you couldn't take the field literally with just Mykel Williams and Robert Beal because Sam Okuwanu was hurt. So with Keon White, I like this pickup because you're barely giving up anything to bring him in. Second round pick for a reason. Last year played pretty well. In this scheme, I think that he can work out well. With New England, with this new Mike Vrabel coaching staff, he didn't fit there. That's why he wasn't playing. But even some Patriots fans who know ball were like, wait, why did we give him away for pennies? And part of the reason why I like him going to the Niners, the alignment and versatility. At edge last year, 463 snaps, 9.9% pressure rate. At defensive end, 202 snaps, 13.3% pressure rate. And at defensive tackle, 86 snaps, 15.8% pressure rate. So he can win at all three of those spots for San Francisco, and hopefully he can do it quickly. He's also a really good athlete, and the Niners do value these relative athletic scores from an RAS standpoint, relative athletic score, and his body type. You know, he does remind me of a Charles Omenihu, and he's going to be utilized like an Omenihu, an Arden Key, a Jordan Willis, a Clelin Ferrell, a Yetur Gross-Matos. 991 on the RAS score coming out of Georgia Tech. 6'4", really good size, 30 reps of the bench press at 225, 34 inches on the vert, more than 9 feet on the broad, and a 4.79 40-yard dash at that size. Last year, we're talking about a player who led the Patriots with 5 sacks, 45 pressures, and a pass rush grade of 76.7. Those are not numbers to scoff at. That's solid production. Obviously, that New England defense wasn't incredible last year, but this is pretty solid production. Other roster moves for the Niners here. The corresponding roster move to make room for Ferrell on the practice squad, releasing offensive lineman Drew Moss. That's unfortunate. I'd like to see him continue to develop. I like what he did in the preseason as a UDFA at a Colorado State. He could play a couple of different positions along that offensive line. And hopefully the Niners can find a way to bring him back to the practice squad to continue to develop him. Other moves that the Niners made kind of late yesterday. Offensive tackle Brandon Parker let go. Offensive tackle Andre Dillard has been signed. He was with the team prior to the year and then was let go with an injury designation. Another thing with these moves for the Niners, if they didn't do anything, or if they just picked up players off the scrap heap, it would show that the Niners are surrendering, that they are waving the white flag for the 2025 season, that they are punting on this year. They're just looking ahead to 2026. We're young, we're banged up. Let's just get healthy for next year. That's not fair to the players on this roster, especially the ones who are older and giving it their all, like George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams. You owe it to these younger players, too, to get them some playoff experience. It wouldn't be fair to the fan base. And so what the Niners are doing with these moves, they're making these moves, telling everybody, we're bought in. We believe in ourselves at 5-3 here in 2025, and we're making these moves to try to do something this year while also building for the future because Keon White is under contract through next season. Still to come here on the show. Big rumor today, a lot of buzz with this. Kyle Shanahan was asked about it. Jauan Jennings was asked about it. Will Jauan Jennings get traded? We're going to get into that here in just a moment, but we have another new sponsor that we want to tell you about here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Our friends at Harry's. I love these products. I use them all, and you can see them for yourself, and I hope that you use them at harrys.com/chat. When you use our code chat, you get the Harry's Plus trial set for just $10. And you think about when we use our razors, right? They can dull too fast. They can irritate your neck. Sometimes they cost too much. Like $30 for 8 refills, that is a total scam. That's why I'm using Harry's now. And when I started using it, I was like, wow, this glides on my skin. It's a nice clean shave. And I don't get the rashes on my neck, which I've gotten before with some of those other cheap razors, sometimes expensive ones. They give me some of those rashes. I hate it. I'm on camera. I can't be looking like a stiff. So Harry's Plus has an advanced pivoting system to reach every corner of your face, refined blade technology for a closer, smoother shave, and a weighted metal handle. With Harry's Plus, you also get a barbershop quality shave with German engineered blades. Each blade is honed at 3 different angles to cut hair cleanly at the root without tugging. Blade spacing is optimized to glide smoothly and avoid clogging. Drugstore blades clog so fast. I mean, the real ones know. So Harry's owns their own world-class blade factory in Germany. No outsourcing, no middleman. That same facility has been perfecting blade making for over 100 years. Why pay $30 for refills when Harry's gives you the better blades for a fraction of that cost? And if you don't love your shave, Harry's will make it right. No questions asked. Risk-free trial means there's zero downside to giving it a shot. Harry's has also launched their most advanced razor ever, and it's still cheaper than Gillette Fusion 5. So for a limited time, our listeners can get the Harry's Plus trial set for only $10 at harrys.com/chat. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor that I showed you, one refined 5-blade cartridge, and a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, which I also showed you, and a travel cover to protect your blades on the go. Again, harrys.com/chat to claim this offer after you make your purchase. They'll ask you where you heard about them. Please tell them that Chat Sports, the 49ers Report, and Chase Sr. sent you. All right, let's get to this. NFL trade deadline is quickly approaching. Will the 49ers trade wide receiver Jauan Jennings? This is something that was brought up today to Kyle Shanahan. Jauan Jennings, was asked about this. And it got started because ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler said this in his ESPN article today. Much is made of Jacoby Myers' trade prospects out of Las Vegas. But let's not forget about San Francisco's Jauan Jennings, who also asked for a trade in the offseason over the lack of a new deal. Despite nearly 1,000 yards in 2024, Jennings is off to a slower start this season, ranking 5th on the Niners in receiving, only 212 yards. Both sides could use a fresh start. Obviously, Jeremy Fowler is pretty well-sourced across the entire NFL. Shanahan, when asked about this during his news conference today, quote, "I would be very surprised if Jauan Jennings wasn't on our team." So clearly Shanahan saying that, and then Jennings saying this in the locker room. Like I said, I just love playing with this team, to go out there every day and to see guys like Kittle, Juice, Christian McCaffrey. We've got a lot of guys who want to contribute. So Jennings didn't definitively say, yeah, I'm unhappy and I want out of here. And you look at his numbers this year, 18 catches, 212 yards, a touchdown along a 42. He's dealt with shoulder injuries. He's dealt with rib injuries. He's dealt with ankle injuries. And I get it. He's not right. He wants a new contract. Physically, he's feeling it. Mentally, he's probably a little bit upset. He had made it clear in demanding a trade. Pay me or trade me. And obviously, we see that a lot these days across the entire NFL. I've always felt some type of way about that. I love the way that Jauan Jennings plays the game of football. Hard, physical, to the whistle, through the whistle. He plays with physicality, violence, swagger. He's been a really good teammate, a really good run blocker. How often has he come through with so many monster plays for San Francisco on 3rd and 4th down? On the money downs, he's been incredibly clutched. I mean, the guy has earned the nickname 3rd and Jauan. But you had one good year, and the Niners gave you a new contract going into last year, which went through this year. They ripped up your old deal because you had played so well that you were underpaid. And so San Francisco rewarded you. Yet, Jauan Jennings, for as much of a spiritual, emotional leader as he's been for the Niners in the past, this year, bad body language, bad leadership, arguing with Kyle Shanahan while he's calling plays in that Buccaneers game. He's sulking around. He looks unhappy. And you're looking for a new deal after one good season. How about you go out there and prove it once again here in 2025, and then you can hit the free agency market, and in a robust wide receiver market where wide receivers are getting paid crazy dollars, you can cash in, especially with an agent like Drew Rosenhaus. But instead, you've complained, you've missed time, you didn't do anything throughout training camp, and then you get on the field and you've played poorly, and you've dropped passes, and you've been sulking, and you've been a negative Nancy. You've gotten into an argument with your coach while he's trying to do his job and call plays? Come on now. And it's a really bad look for him to go out there and then not execute and drop all these balls and not play well up to his standard. And a lot of his yards and production came in that Saints game. Outside of that, he's barely done anything. So I think Jauan Jennings has to be better and act better. He has to play better. And if he does all of that, he'll get paid better. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here on the show. My name is Chase Sr. This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. We'll be going live tomorrow on Thursday. Can't wait for it. I'll see you then.